What will happen when a man at work receives a phone call from an unknown number? As he picks up the call, the caller tells him they've found his dog. But when the man asks for the location, the caller reveals something unbelievable that shocks him. The story begins with a man named Anderson, who lived in a small town in Oregon. He loved the quiet life there, surrounded by the beauty of the woods. Anderson was happy, but he often felt alone because he didn't have many friends. One day, something exciting happened. As Anderson drove home from work, he saw a scruffy dog by the road. The poor thing looked lost and alone. Anderson stopped his car, and the dog jumped right in. Anderson was surprised but also worried about the dog's safety. He carefully drove home, with the dog happily sitting beside him. They shared dinner together, and Anderson named him Whisker. But Anderson didn't know that this act of kindness would change his life completely. Over the next few months, Anderson discovered more about his new buddy, Whisker. Whisker had some quirky habits, like always snoozing under Anderson's desk. Anderson welcomed the change. Whisker's adventurous nature added excitement to his life. Unlike most pets, Whisker wasn't one to stay indoors. He loved roaming the woods alone. Each morning, Anderson went to work while Whisker explored the woods. Anderson trusted Whisker to return home for dinner. But one day, something happened that made Anderson worry about his furry friend's safety. But before we go into more depth, if so, don't forget to subscribe. And we are aiming for 1,000 plus likes on this video, so be sure to like it. Let's continue the story. While cataloging a new lumber haul at work, Anderson's routine was interrupted by an unexpected phone call from an unfamiliar number. "Curious," he answered. On the line was a man who claimed to have found Whisker, Anderson's beloved dog, thanks to the tag on his collar. Anderson assumed Whisker couldn't have strayed far, but the man's revelation stunned him. Whisker was nearly 20 miles away. "Guess what?" the man exclaimed. "I've seen Whisker around here before, but today I decided to check his collar to find out who he belongs to and why he's always here." This news set off alarm bells in Anderson's mind. How could Whisker wander so far, yet always find his way home? Despite his worry, Anderson asked the man to leave Whisker where he was found. He wanted to see something. Trusting his gut, Anderson headed home after his shift, wondering if he had made the right decision. As he drove up his long driveway, Anderson's heart skipped a beat when he spotted Whisker waiting for him at home. Wondering how his dog had made it back before him, Anderson decided to dig deeper. He rigged up a tiny camera on Whisker's collar, hoping to unravel the mystery of his furry friend's adventures. The following day, Anderson set off to work, his thoughts consumed by what the camera might capture. When he returned, he eagerly reviewed the footage. His eyes widened in astonishment as he watched Whisker trot through the woods, then pick up speed toward a familiar road. Mile after mile, Whisker journeyed until Anderson recognized the familiar sight of the gas station where he first found him. Whisker confidently entered the gas station and made his way to the counter. Anderson expected the clerk to shoo him away, but instead, the man greeted him warmly. "There you are, Whisker. How's your new owner treating you?" The clerk even gave Whisker a stick of jerky and petted him affectionately. Anderson knew he had to visit the gas station to uncover the full story. The following day, he drove the 20 miles to the station. As he walked in, the clerk's eyes lit up upon seeing Whisker. "You know my dog," Anderson said. The clerk's joy was evident, and he admitted everything. "Whisker was a stray before you adopted him," the clerk explained. "He's been coming here for years, begging for food. I started giving him snacks, and he kept coming back. One day, I noticed he was clean and had a tag. I was so happy someone had taken him in, but he still visits me daily for his treat." Anderson's heart warmed as he listened. He bought a stick of jerky and gave it to Whisker, who devoured it happily. The two men laughed, bonding over their shared affection for the lovable dog. The clerk introduced himself as Alex, and an unexpected friendship began to form. Over time, Anderson and Alex's bond grew stronger. They spent weekends together, with Alex visiting Anderson's home to play with Whisker. Anderson realized that Whisker's daily adventures had brought not just a loyal companion into his life, but also a new friend. Whisker continued his routine of visiting the gas station, but now Anderson was no longer concerned. He understood Whisker's need for adventure and his unique bond with Alex. Whisker had friends beyond his home, and Anderson was grateful for the unexpected twist of fate that had brought them all together. In the end, Anderson's simple, solitary life had been enriched by the presence of Whisker and the friendship with Alex. He no longer felt alone, and the small town in Oregon felt even more like home. So, what are your thoughts about this heart-touching story? Share your opinions in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on our new animal stories. Your support means the world to us.